Stretching going on as Big gets ready. And immediately, the Anivia ban, as if on cue. These guys have noise-canceling headsets, but they can still hear that Anivia coming from a mile away. Azir will be banned away from Pobelter. No chance for that playmaker, and Karma follows that one up.
I'm expecting a lot of mid lane bans here. The Vladimir will most likely come out as well, possibly the Cassiopeia. Rise may be left on the table here. And I assume Victor as well for Immortals. So there will be a lot of options here.
Yeah, Jax going to be banned away from KFO. We've seen him take split pushers like Fiora as well. But Vladimir is the final ban for Echo Fox along with Rek'Sai. Huni giving Rumble the old hover after some very impressive play on that champion last week. Actually, no, that was earlier this week. That was a few days ago.
That's true. Probably the Sivir. Yeah, I assume that's a first pick. I was going to say the Braum, but Adrian favors quite a different type of champion than Braum.
Yeah, certainly does, but the Sivir is locked in, and now Echo Fox need to look to answer. On red side, they do have the luxury of counter pick, and with that Rumble hover, KFO might be thinking, hey, we don't want to play against that Rumble in the top lane. But as you said, there's still so many more power picks. There's Rise still up, Victor definitely still available.
Yeah, you could take Victor here very early on in the draft and keep it away from Pobelter, who has been proving himself as one of, if not the best Victor player in North America, at least in the LCS. Maybe there's some solo queue guy.
Pobelter has definitely stepped up in the mid lane for Immortals over these past few weeks. I mean, we always knew he was a gifted player, but seeing his play over the course of this split is just so exciting.
And that's the sign of a good team, is when the meta shifts, they will shift with the meta, and they'll be able to play through different people. For example, the meta has shifted towards more of a mid lane focus in Immortals' opinion, so they're giving more to Pobelter, and then he is playing to the side lanes. It's something that CLG has struggled with lately, where they haven't been able to play through Huhi as much as they would like to, and that's what has been kind of holding them back as they adjust to that type of playstyle.
Strong adaptation for Immortals is helpful to keeping them on top, but Echo Fox looking to change things up a bit here as Keith going for that Lucian and Kez returning to his old staple on Elise.
Yeah, Elise and Evelynn are the two champions that Kez was known for. He expanded his pool to things like Rek'Sai as well, but that was banned away. So now Immortals, over to them. These are most likely their picks, in my opinion. I think you take the Soraka, you hide your solo lanes, and then you go for either the Olaf or the Nidalee here to have an aggressive jungler. But you can go for a team fighter as well, and there's the Gragas.
Gragas now picked up by Reignover, along with that Soraka, so very difficult to catch and difficult to kill bottom lane for Immortals.
And this Gragas just sets up so that they can have some type of damage dealing top laner and not have to worry about it. It's always been the whole Reignover plays a tank so that Huni can play whatever he wants in the top lane, maybe a Lissandra for engages, things along those lines. And speaking of Lissandra, it was one of the champions that Froggen had seen the most success with, but it's probably the Victor here for him just because you don't want to have that in the hands of Pobelter.
Don't give that champion over, but we'll see how Pobelter decides to answer. I mean, as a champion, as a player who's played against that champion so many times, I'm sure he's got something in his pockets to deal with that. Big, though, taking that Braum for a little bit of crowd control and a little bit of disengage if he can find his opportunities in team fights. Also synergizes quite well with Lucian in the bottom lane.
Yep. Great combination there. Big also loves playing Braum. Malzahar has been coming into the meta here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pobelter end up picking that one up and then locking down some of those squishy members of the team of Echo Fox.
In addition, Echo Fox are saving their last pick for KFO to counterpick Huni. So a little bit of a flex going on for Echo Fox as they're trusting in Froggen's ability to play out that Victor and potentially have a counter picked out by someone who can drop a suppress on him. So Malzahar is going to be the pick for Pobelter, and Gnar locked in for Huni.
So Gnar was one of the few tank champions, I guess we'll call him a tank champion for all intents and purposes, the way that he plays team fights. Tank champions that Huni had seen success on a long time ago.
Yeah.
So his Maokai wasn't very good back when he was in the European LCS, but then his Gnar was still actually rather exceptional in team fights. He gets a little bit carried away sometimes with moving in and soloing his lane opponent, so I want to see what KFO goes for here. Possibly the Aurelia as the counter pick, but then that would mean their composition is really a 4-1 split push for Echo Fox.
You can see Coach Heaventime speaking with KFO right now, giving it the old Fiora. Can you do it? Aurelia? Oh, and it is going to be Aurelia locked in for KFO. Ooh, we've seen some solo kills from Aurelia's on Nars, and we've seen some solo kills for Nars on Aurelia, so turns out this might just be a skill matchup in the top lane.
Yeah, usually Aurelia gets the better of it, especially early on. When Frozen Mallet's completed, depending on the timing, Gnar can win it, but it really relies on him kiting and being... Because, like, one of the best times for Gnar to actually fight Aurelia is when he just changed out of Mega. Because there's no way he's changing back into Mega, and you want to stay ranged against Aurelia. It's kind of strange. It's like that catch-22 because you're squishier, and she'll be able to kill you, but your hyper allows you to kite, your hyper allows you to actually deal more damage to her, and that's what he's looking for there. But usually it goes in Aurelia's favor.
Yeah, well, the pressure is on for Echo Fox. Currently last place in the league, facing off against the team that has only dropped a single set to TSM. But we want to hear what you guys at home think. Make some noise on Twitter and even here in the crowd for your team. Use hashtag IMTWin or hashtag FOXWin to get in on the voting action. Will Immortals look for that 2-0 and try to chase TSM in the standings in the game record, or will Echo Fox be able to show that they can make a Phoenix 1-like climb from that bottom of the rung in the ladder?
Yeah.
Now's the time to do it. We're getting close to the end of the season.
Yep, exactly. After this, we will have, I believe, 4 matches per team to be played after today. And Echo Fox, they want us to get a better position in the standings to actually still contest playoffs. But if they lose this, it becomes much harder. And then I believe they're very close to actually not being in playoffs at all. So Echo Fox, if they want to stay in that running, they have to cause an upset here. They have to get things together.
Yeah, and this is still a very young team in the big scheme of things. Really only starting to come together as a team in the spring split. Rainover, ooh, he's going to dodge forward and get away from Echo Fox. But that's Echo Fox looking for a bit of vision, a bit of damage onto Rainover as well. They might be looking for that lane swap, or more specifically, trying to keep Huni away from KFO.
Lane swap wards coming down. It's the project, what is that? Prototype, Soraka?
Program?
Program, there you go, there you go. It's like, it's not project, it's program, okay.
Which is kind of funny if you think about it, because it's not really a program. A program is... Never mind. All right.
She has programs running. She's a robot, and her brain is program Soraka. That's how it works.
90 seconds in, already getting off track.
Execute program Soraka. Let's go, Adrian.
Alrighty, so looks like Echo Fox. Oh no, they back away. They were heading towards the top side, and they saw Wild Turtle and Adrian heading up towards it. Yep. Oh, now they're heading back
because they don't really have time to get to the other side. The lane's already touched, and that was great from Immortals to wait there, and then after it was past the point of no return for the bottom lane, they started walking down. So really well played there. They've encountered this situation before, and they outplay the lane swap wards.
Some harass onto Keith while Wild Turtle clears out the wave quick as possible.
Yeah, and this sucks for both of Echo Fox's side lanes because this is not a good matchup for KFO, and it's not a good matchup for Keith or Big. So they're going to get pushed in very early on. The harassment and the gank potential from having the Gragas come through is rather high, especially when you can get a silence off or if Huni gets the transformation.
Echo Fox were hoping for the lane swap. They set up the vision for it, but not able to pull it off, and Immortals end up with some strong lanes. However, Pillbelter is getting pushed in a bit by Froggen. He's got Rainover nearby, though. Kez actually heading towards his bottom lane.
Yeah, and Rainover actually started on the opposite side, and so Huni gonna get hit by a cocoon.
Oh, they're able to stack some crowd control. Huni gives up first blood.
And Kez with the early gank, the early aggression, doesn't even go for his red buff, does a full blue side clear, doesn't take Scuttle, and that's a free 3-minute gank. And you do not expect those because you're still sitting at level 2. You're typically level 3 when the jungler comes by, but that is a fast route from Kez.
Very very solid play from Immortals.
And this is going to be good too because he's going to ward over, and now Big sees that Rainover is taking the red. They have complete tabs on him, and they know to play safe on the top side.
Pobelter's actually checking to keep an eye on Echo Fox on Kez right now.
Yeah.
And we'll spot him out.
Kez wards up the jungle, takes a little bit of the Raptors, and pings out that there's the ward around that side. But both junglers hanging around the mid lane. We'll see if Kez goes for another gank here. You have to get Malzahar's passive off before you can go for the gank.
He's
so he's gonna go do it.
Gravity Field pulls Pobelter forward. Silence is going to miss. He ghosts. Flash. Cocoon is dodged.
Over. Yeah, dodges, doesn't even have to use the flash there. Uses his ghost, but he gets the flash out of Kez in response. And he used it really early too, so.
Very aggressive early ganks from Kez, hoping to upset the matchup in Echo Fox's favor. So far, we're seeing those side lanes continue to put pressure as Wild Turtle and Adrian shove as hard as they can. Keith has been catching a lot of these minions, however, and Hooney continuing to shove into KFO. So he is now missing a bit of CS as KFO with the level and CS advantage.
I misspoke the first time. I meant, sorry, when I said that there were bad lanes for Immortals, there's one bad and one good, because this is the lane that Aurelia wins. And it's really an Aurelia counter matchup. Like, Aurelia beats Gnar early on and through most stages of the game. And especially since Hooney took Grasp of the Undying, which is half as effective on range champions and not the Fervor, which is just full effectiveness. He definitely is at a big disadvantage here against the Aurelia. Because a large part of your pattern is you get to poke down, poke down, poke down, and then Aurelia is like, okay, well, range champions, I slaughter them because you got me lower, and now my Equilibrium Strike actually slows you. That's why you can't play Quinn into Aurelia and things like that.
Hooney missing a couple of CS here and there.
Yeah, a little bit on the back foot.
Down about 10 after that early first blood, but he's got Rainover on that side of the jungle as well. Provide some vision as Kez will clear out his own side of the jungle. Early double boots from Kez. There have been some interesting conversations about his pressure in lanes early on, and he's even going to smite that Raptor camp to make sure there is no vision on him.
Double boots, man. So upgrades to the tier 2 of his boots, and just wants the mobility to get around the jungle. It's a different type of style. We'll see if he goes for the Sightstone or the Tracker's Knife, because Kez was always a Sightstone jungler, one of the very early adopters of it. Even on champions where you're like, I don't know if he should be buying that there. It's like, Sightstone Nidalee, let's go.
More health means you can dive more aggressively. Froggen will catch out some minions. Flash, burn, but Froggen, still sharp reflexes, able to get away from the suppression.
Yeah. Pobelter looking for the flash and Nether Grasp, but as soon as the flash came out, Froggen was predicting it, anticipating it, and was ready to flash in response. So, well played there by him. If he gets a gank from Kez, the Ghost will be back up from Pobelter. But now this is where Malzahar gets very scary. When he has the Nether Grasp, the ganks are pretty much the easiest thing in the world. I love ganking Malzahar lanes. For them, not against them. Especially with this new passive, because his new passive prevents CC until you've knocked it off. So he can use his Nether Grasp, and then you're like, okay, well, let's counter, let's interrupt it. It's like, nope, and nope.
Yeah.
Like,
double deny.
Yeah, and even then, it takes an extra second to fall off. So if you do damage him, you have to wait before you get to use your CC. And by then, the Nether Grasp may already be gone, or his target may already be dead.
Looks like Echo Fox roaming towards the bottom side, continuing to pressure Hooney. Use that pressure now to convert it into an early Ocean trade, 7.5 minutes in. Immortals don't really have vision of the area, and Echo Fox will take it down. Oh, barrel. Oh, it resets. Rainover's got a smite too. Oh, wow, that was close. But Kez gets turned around upon. KFO is left behind, and Immortals get a kill.
Double kill. Because Elise went up when he had the Nemelphic Visions.
Yeah. Huge dot from Pobelter is able to get that double kill, and now the blue buff steal onto him as well. He's gonna love this mid lane.
I mean, there's a reason we're seeing more and more Malzahar. It's because he's just so powerful, especially in this early part of the game. He'll fall off later when people have QSSs, but if you give up these early kills to him, his wave clear becomes insane. He has infinite mana because every time his Melting Visions actually kills somebody, or kills a creep, and bounces to another, gives him a percentage of his mana back. See here, KFO a little too far forward. Kez gonna get Melting Visions on him, goes up, dies, KFO face lasered, and taken down. Huni with the collapse there, so there were actually multiple members and Froggen doesn't stay around, so it was a 3-on-3, but they really didn't turn in time. And here's Adrian and Wild Turtle looking for a fight.
Yeah, they are level 6. There goes some damage onto Big.
Oh, they swapped the key.
Oh, exhaust. Big's gonna be in the front. He does have his level 6 now. But Immortals duo lane, seeing all of this emphasis and pressure from Kez and Rain over on the bottom side of the map, are free to trade with Echo Fox and get the better of this advantage.
And I like the fact that Adrian is still playing Soraka. I thought I'd never say that about a Soraka player, but it gives him another option to win lane even when something like the... what was it? Oh man, my brain is blanking!
Your brain just went off.
Other range supports, put it that way. Oh, the Karma, that's what I meant. The Karma's banned away from themselves. Wow, I don't know why that was so hard for me. I gotta wake up!
It's just early afternoon, 12:15, 12:20 here. As Immortals, 10 minutes in, getting the better of this laning phase. Take down the first turret, and they're not able to take the first Ocean Drake, but they've got the kill advantage and pretty comfortable lane advantages as well.
And it was in Fox's favor, but they lost that turret on the top side just now from Immortals, so Immortals ends up pushing it in. Keith and Big now have a long lane they have to deal with, and this gives Adrian time to roam around, and these are kind of the weirdest roams that you'll ever see in League of Legends from Adrian, because the Soraka just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, well, wait,
they're collapsing
why
on
is
the
he so
top lane
fast?
right now. Echo Fox might be in a tough situation. On the hunt is used. Knockup catches Huni before he can chase too far. Big is trying to retreat. They're still hanging on to their flashes to get to the tier 2.
Yeah, they get out.
Will be able to escape.
They get out. Now they get pressure on the bottom side. They'll get this tier 1 turret, and there isn't really anything that Immortals can do to answer, so they give up a turret. Great gank avoidance there from Big. It has to use multiple summoner spells. Maybe he'll pay for it later, but still stops the kills from going over and stops the snowball from starting in the top side of the map.
Echo Fox are able to trade back the bottom tier 1.
Oh, Rift Herald.
Drops, but Rift Herald for Immortals, more importantly for Huni in that side lane. He does have that Jarum's Fist.
Yep, looking for the Frozen Mallet as first item. I mean, he builds it on Aurelia. Why wouldn't you build it on Gnar? I think he actually started going away from that build recently for Aurelia, which quite happy about. Because I believe it's not optimal. It's a little bit below that.
Suboptimal?
Yeah, that would be the word.
So Immortals still looking fairly convincing so far, but Echo Fox over the course of this laning phase have managed to keep themselves side by side. Froggen, minor CS lead, but he's got to compete with those 2 kills that Pobelter got after fighting at the Dragon Pit for that first Ocean Drake. But now with that neutral objective gone, we've just been seeing some standard rotations around the map. Now Echo Fox send their duo back to the top lane after that pressure and look to take down this tier 1. Even KFO is on his way up here. Immortals do the same on the opposite side.
A little bit slower though. So they're going to get this turret pretty quickly, especially in comparison. Looking for the chunk out, and yeah, now Echo Fox back to even in gold here. It's going to be Wild Turtle on the bottom side all by himself, just dealing with that turret. See how quickly he brings that down, because it's just Huni right now, and this is one of the best situations for the Aurelia to be in. You can take some tower shots if you want after clearing out the wave, and then you can dive the Gnar, but they don't know where Gragas is. They see him now, and now they have to back off.
Yeah, with Pobelter missing from lane as well, Echo Fox do not get the freedom to shove down in tier 2. Immortals, well practiced in this scenario, are able to respond and defend their turret in such a manner. However, Wild Turtle did push that wave up to the opposite side, so KFO will not get the luxury of freezing that. And even Keith and Big are going to miss a few of those minions as they head over. Blue buff now being gifted to Froggen to try to keep pace with Pobelter, but Immortals are already looking to group back up in that mid lane. might be prepping for that next Cloud Drake as it's up in 30 seconds and the duo of Immortals very close to the mid lane.
With all those outer turrets gone from Immortals, they're going to start grouping up in the mid lane and playing through Pobelter's advantage, and since he's 2-0. And that's why, that's one of the reasons that people are saying it's a mid lane focused meta, is because you lane swap, you get those outer turrets, and sometimes people will even farm for 10 minutes and then swap it to get the turrets. But then you start playing through your mid laner, and the question is, how good has your mid laner been doing during that time? And then how impactful are they in these team fights? Because most mid laners in the meta at the moment have incredibly high impact in these team fights. So
yeah,
if you can push through that mid lane, get yourself that middle turret advantage, that can help you snowball the game and open up the map.
I'd say Malzahar is pretty high impact. Nether Grasp, very strong spell. Cloud Drake gets started and pulled out. Echo Fox look like they want to fight this. Teleport not available for Huni, but is available for KFO. However, Immortals say, all right, you can take the bonus move speed. We'll take your mid-tier 1, though.
They don't even want it. It's like, it's Cloud Drake, let's go. Oh, Kez, no. I guess Kez does really want this objective. Going for the long game, like always.
Oh, KFO, he's right there.
Yeah, but KFO wants to back and get the stinger.
Oh,
just in case the team fight breaks out. Have those extra combat stats, and there's
for a fight. Up onto Rainover. Pobelter's in front. That's not where Malzahar should be.
Huni is TPing. KFO TPing in a little bit later.
Rush in a huge cast, separates the two. Huni's in the back. They're trying to burn through Rainover. KFO flashes forward for the chase, but Pobelter gets one kill. Huni in the back is going to drop Froggen, while KFO, separated from his team, will also fall. 3 kills, Immortals.
And that was just a huge burst right at the end there. KFO dives in, goes after Rainover, and then Rainover just gets healed from Soraka. Soraka, playing against this champion as a support is very different than how you play against any other support. He's just going to keep healing these guys, and you can't just focus down anybody. You have to take them off the map really fast, and now they open up the mid lane.
Oh yeah, that mid-tier 2 is cleaned up by Immortals. 4 turrets to 2 and a 5,000 gold lead 15 minutes in.
Yeah, tier 2 in mid, easiest turret. That's a tier 2 to take in the map, just because of the distance between tier 1 and tier 2, much shorter than any other lane. You see here, they fight. Rainover gets kind of low. He dodges the Braum ultimate, and then the teleport comes through, and then they lock down Froggen. Actually gets knocked away a bit, but then Froggen is still in the back. KFO uses flash to get in there, and then Huni flashes to chase down Froggen on the right side. KFO just gets collapsed on because his target keeps getting healed. There's nothing he can do about it.
Very good team fight from Immortals. Are able to separate Echo Fox and piecemeal pick up the kills. And Echo Fox, despite taking the Cloud Drake, losing that mid-tier 2 is going to set them behind quite a bit, as now that's 3-0-2 on Pobelter. Completed Morello's and a needlessly large rod.
Yeah,
he's going to start hurting some carries.
Might be the Rylai's Crystal Scepter next. Could also be going for a Death Cap.
The full kill mode.
Even Eludence.
Yeah.
It's amazing what Amp Tome needlessly large rod built into.
But Immortals, as we said, playing through that mid lane, playing through Pobelter's early advantage, then grouping up for a very successful team fight. Echo Fox still looking for that advantage to break out themselves.
It's a sad day when the Victor ultimate does no damage. It's a 0. That was a flat 0. Just spell immune on the first hit. Knocks down the passive of Malzahar, but it comes up so quickly.
So I thought it was 80% damage reduction while the shield is up. Not 100%. I could be wrong. It was so close to 0, it might have well have been 0.
It maybe was,
but
we'll see.
Immortals now pressuring that top side of the map. Huni without teleport, he's going to group up in the mid lane as red buff is stolen away from Kez. 2-level lead for Rainover. As he chases around the map, they catch Kez with a quick suppression. He's got nowhere to go to. Silence Field on top of it. Wild Turtle slays him down.
And now they're just going to continue to push up this top side. They have the wave clear. They also have the battery of Adrian. Here comes Victor to the top side, but they're going to leave Huni in the mid lane to continue his split pushing. And there's no real answer for him at the moment. If you allocate somebody to him, then you can't take the fight on the top side, and they're just going to slowly wheel this down. May have to use the culling once it comes up to clear the wave, or have Froggen walk up. Doesn't clear the wave, instead goes for the damage.
Yeah, Big is defending the turret right now with his own health, while Huni looks for the solo kill! Oh, and barely escapes with his life.
And going back to the Malzahar point, Malzahar, he's immune to CC and crowd control while he has his passive on, and it's 90% damage reduction.
90%. So we met in the middle. It was in between 100 and 80%.
Yeah, the reason it said spell immune, though, is because Victor has a mild interrupt on the cast of Chaos Storm.
The first tick interrupts channels.
It's like
Whoa,
it's like
Huni.
a silence, in a way.
Don't want to be window shopping there. As KFO is going to scare him back into his own jungle. Continuing to chase, though. Question mark ping. Yeah, Huni's got to take the long way out. Ooh, KFO sees the boomerang, but decides not to pursue. So Immortals looking very strong in this. Taking one team fight and being able to clean up some really big advantages, and now trying to increase the pace of the game by pressuring down some of those side lanes. With a fresh recall, they're all prepped and ready to group up and do it all over again. Look for a pick, and then look for a turret.
Yeah, and they can just continue to fight and go for those picks. They have a pretty good pick comp with the Malzahar. It's just him, though. But on the opposite side, you would think that Fox, they would play towards KFO after they got on that first kill. They got that kill on Kez, the assist went over to KFO for 200 gold, and then that lane was almost never revisited. But I think that's a lane that you need to leverage against somebody like Immortals. I know your other lanes are suffering, but as Kez, sometimes you just have to say, sorry guys, we need to just shut down this lane because it's part of our win condition.
And that's something that we talked about beforehand. Kez is a very talented shot caller when the team is playing from behind, but he's certainly going to have his work cut out for him as Immortals rush down that top tier 2 turret. KFO the only man there to defend it. Meanwhile, Keith is on the other side of the map, and Echo Fox, despite setting up a flank in the jungle, cannot find an entry. Keith is going to try to solo kill Huni, teleport from KFO. Oh, sidesteps! Gets caught by the wallop, though, as Huni flashes the wall.
And Froggen's going to try to cut him off, but
he's
not
going
walking straight down there.
Yeah, that's not where his team is.
That's not where his base is, but still, he's buying
Wait, he
time.
has teleport.
Look, everybody on Echo Fox is going to answer him. I don't know what they're doing.
Wait, he's hopping in. Is he going to try to meet up with his team?
He's going to meet up with his team.
He's going all the way around. Kez is going to hop forward. Huni goes the long way. He's finally going to be caught out.
He needs Soraka.
Slow, and KFO gets the kill before Immortals can catch up. Adrian goes too far forward to look for the heal. Meanwhile, Keith eats a full suppression and is chased away. Chaos Storm onto Wild Turtle. KFO flashes, and Wild Turtle goes down to Froggen. And now Echo Fox looking to get more than just one kill. They're looking for a lot more. They chase onto Froggen. He's going to be knocked back to CC. Will it be enough? Pobelter's exhausted, not quite burning through. Rainover goes down, and they continue to chase, trading 1-for-1. Pobelter flashes, but KFO says, get over here, and secures a triple kill for himself.
And that's going to be another kill from the grave, going over to Pobelter, but 3 for 5. And the ace there for Echo Fox. They're right back in this game, but they're still 5,000 gold down. They need to get some turrets off of this, and there's only that mid one that's easily accessible for them. Gnar walked all the way through. Big parts the sea there. Adrian doesn't have too much HP left, so he's looking for some. Doesn't land his Q. Gives a heal over to Wild Turtle, who gives the heal off to Adrian. But the nice pick there. And they come around the corner. Pobelter once again has his shield up. They go for Froggen, but they aren't able to get him right off the bat with the exhaust onto Pobelter. And he tries to use his rotation again onto Keith. Comes back around, puts another Melting Visions on him.
Yeah. The kill from beyond the grave. Immortals, though, are far from done in this game. One team fight, it does not a lost game make. And Immortals will secure the Cloud Drake as it respawns. They're first in this game. Now, 22 minutes in, they've still got pretty comfortable control of this match. There's only a single tier 2 remaining, and Immortals have already shown how willing they are to start rushing down turrets that even look undefended.
Rushing into the enemy base. So Huni just wants to end game so quickly. He's like, let's go. But still, Huni jumping into the base, tries to go all the way around, gets tagged by Big and stunned, and that was like the right idea, but I feel as though Immortals could have gotten more off of that if they had just pushed the wave up and tried to meet him, or if they had all just ran into the base and thought they were stronger there. I mean,
without minions?
I think so. I think if you just all run past the turret, you have Adrian there to heal. If you want to go for the fight there, that's fine. It's probably better than fighting 4-on-5. He'll heal you.
Yeah, they're actually fighting in the mid lane. Suppression
Adrian's
on the
gonna
Frog.
die.
He's caught out. Wild Turtle kills him. Wild Big will fall as well. Another huge pick from Immortals.
And Adrian actually stays alive the last tick of the Victor ultimate. There was only one left, so not two. Ends up staying alive and ending up getting some heals. They're going to have the wave clear down for now, and now they're going to be able to push up through the mid lane.
Yeah, Keith nowhere near that minion wave means that Immortals are able to escort it forward and take down that middle inhibitor turret. He's finally catching up just now, but the turret's already fallen, and as Immortals group is forward with Huni split pushing inside lane, the inhibitor, not long for this world, goes down. 24 minutes in, Immortals are 6,000 gold ahead.
Yep, and a lot of that is playing through the mid lane here. Pobelter, 100% kill participation, has the Rylai's Crystal Scepter as well, so the slow helps them reach Froggen, and then he uses the QSS, and then the face beam comes down.
Oh, they're not done. Woo! On the way down, Huni says bug splat. And picks up a kill for himself. Now Immortals pressure that side, tier 2. Adrian catches up as Wild Turtle's actually heading down the mid lane.
Yeah, but he's going to be met by Froggen here, who has the magic damage to actually clean up this minion wave. It's the super minions. They have negative magic resistance. I believe it's 30.
Now he finally heads to catch up with the rest of his team in that bottom tier 2 to continue the siege. On the hunt is back off the cooldown. Reignover's got the cask. Despite silence and a lot of harass being tossed onto Echo Fox, Immortals are content with only the turret.
And we're seeing the difference between a team that, you know, they're looking better individually in Fox, but a team that actually plays around the teamwork that they have created for themselves. You talked about how Fox, you know, they're kind of relatively a new squad. Well, with Kez on the roster, sure, but these two teams actually came together at the exact same time. They came together in spring. It's just the difference in how much they have synergized and how much they have actually learned how they can play League of Legends and who they can play through. And I just think that the Immortal squad has been very adaptable, and they've shown a ton of drive. And the fact that they've honestly, like, they've been dominating the last season and this season.
Dropping a single game in spring.
Just really talented players overall. Whereas Echo Fox actually pulled a lot of players in who didn't have LCS experience.
Mm-hmm. Putting all their eggs in the Froggen basket. I mean, we heard from Keith before the game how Echo Fox try to play through Froggen as much as possible, but 1-2-2 right now. He does have a large CS lead over Echo Fox, but it's no longer a single-player game. One player can no longer single-handedly win the match for you.
Exactly.
This is team-based League of Legends.
It's always been a team game as well, but it just teams have actually caught on to the fact that this is how it works now. A little less rewarded for certain actions in the game. And Huni has a GA.
Oh,
gets KFO's flash.
He's able to kite it out. Chase flash is used. KFO
He's gonna try to turn it around.
Gone too far. Not even popping the Guardian Angel.
That's the Rift Herald, the ultimate from Adrian.
Ooh, good cask.
And the lockdown there. This Soraka skin's really annoying as well. Just a completely side tangent here, because the silence is a little bit harder to see, especially when you're in the river, because it's not this gigantic blue thing. It's like an outline, and then the middle of it is a little bit translucent.
Oh, and Huni's not done yet. On top of the Chaos Storm, he gets damage onto Froggen. There goes the Guardian Angel. Froggen's got his flash. Huni does not. Ooh, he gets out, chases.
He needs Rift Herald.
He's looking for it. Tosses 1, 2, 3. Huni solo kills Froggen, and Immortals looking for the Baron. Reignover chases onto Keith, prioritizing the carries. Immortals cleaning up these kills.
And honestly, Huni just killed the two solo laners by himself back to back. He killed Froggen, he killed KFO right before that, so he didn't have his flash, and Froggen ends up dying as well. And Immortals, they're going to try to push in here. Froggen down for 20 seconds, wave clear off the table. They're going to try to end it right here, Dom.
Yeah, looking for the Nexus turrets, but there's no chance. Echo Fox trying to burn through. KFO buying time with Kez, but Immortals laser focus on the finish. Rush down the Nexus. Pobelter looking for a few fantasy points, will chase away the rest of the team. But that's Immortals taking down Echo Fox 28 minutes in.
And Immortals looking for the 2-0 to keep themselves closer to TSM. So they take this game in commanding fashion. 27 minutes, just under